Okay, hello everyone. I have Kofu here with me. Kofu just won, well, not just one contract, but he's been winning. He is coming to talk to us about how he used some of my free videos, and then also you used other resources. We had a little chat before, I started this interview, but I am so proud of him. He has definitely reached that level that you guys are all trying to get to. He has an IDIQ now.
I'm going back to your question, like the IDIQ we did last month was a very successful month.
Tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us about the business that you have, because you were working with the government already, right?
Yeah, yes. I mean, just like any other person's story, I've always had this like entrepreneurship mindset, right?
Hmm.
Tried Amazon FBA, trying to like drop ship, and I was just
So you were
curious to
doing
like,
products already.
I mean, I was doing, meaning like, I was just trying to like get involved into like Shopify and also
Mm-hmm.
like Amazon FBA. It was, to be truthful, it wasn't working as much as I thought it would work
Even the
until like,
Amazon wasn't working that well.
not that well, I
Hmm.
mean, the reason why I said not that well is because you, the, okay, like on the government side, right? You're working backwards instead of forward,
Hmm.
meaning on the government side, right? They know what they want to buy already. Your job is just to like go find it and and
Right.
also just get like profit for like your company because your company needs profit to survive, right?
Hmm.
So like the government already, like so you're working backwards instead of like forward. But like Amazon, you're working forward. Like you have to do market research, you have to know what customer you're trying to sell. It was just too much for
Hmm.
me,
But you have
you
to
know.
do a little bit of the same things here too, though, don't you think?
Yes, but I mean to me is much easier
Well,
on the
it's
government
easier
side
because
than
there is a system, of course, my system.
exactly. So
But
your system
also,
broke it
and
down.
I try to streamline it because sometimes when you give people too much information without focusing on the very specific things that people need to do and work around those specific things, it can be overwhelming.
Great. And again, your video when I came across it, because I've seen other people's video about like government contracting online. It felt like they were trying to like sell you something. I actually joined one of the webinar on online, and as
Mhm.
soon as like let's say like 20 minutes into the program, right? This guy was already selling a software for like
Right.
$3,000, but it was different because I mean the information you first gave is like, hey, look, I believe in you guys. You guys could do this. I want the best for you. So just getting that, first initial approach of like trust and, following through. I'm super grateful for like finding your information. It's helped me grow a lot.
That's so wonderful. So tell us, how have you grown in the with the DLA? So you just found me. You weren't in the program. You just found me from YouTube?
Yes, so I
Mhm.
found you from YouTube because there's not enough information about dips and DLA on
No, it's
YouTube.
not. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I didn't even know that myself, to be honest, because you probably know I don't look around very much for what people are talking about. I did not even realize for a long time that I was one of the only ones, if not the only ones, that had a full program on DLA and the Dibbs system. I didn't realize that until actually I think Richard was the first, and it had been out, I think maybe almost a year before I realized, oh, there really is nothing out there. But I did it because I remember thinking I had a lot of veterans that came to me and said, we can't understand this. So I was like, of course you can do this. So I did it as an example to show them, okay, but they were right. It was very complicated in the sense of no, the information wasn't connecting.
Exactly.
Working with the manufacturers was very difficult because that's why I went out and said, you know what? This is how we're going to deal with some of these manufacturers. We're going to go make our own stuff. I'm going to go find me a manufacturer that's not in government, and I'm going to show them that if you do this deal with me, you will, you'll make a substantial profit. And that was for me to move it faster. But then I realized, okay, this is how I can work with some of the manufacturers. I taught people how to vet them very quickly. I just did one of those, before in another coaching session. We can vet them. We can find out who's real. It's always a work in progress, but still, how did you, changing the subject a little bit, how did you deal with manufacturers? But you already had some experience there.
Yeah, so I did have a professional experience already, but I don't want to like say my professional
Yeah.
experience and I don't want, yeah, so I do have
Yeah, you
a
don't want to create your
professional,
competition right here, but yeah.
yeah, so I do have a professional experience already since like the age of 19 dealing with like, it's not even
Supplier.
distributor, like
Yeah.
original equipment manufacturer. So I know the lingo already. And
So
when I
how
saw
long
your
did it take you then to win your first contract?
I saw my first contract was actually with the state of Illinois, right?
Mhm.
It was during the winter time, right? And I delivered road salt to them, right? So when I did that, when I saw it worked, right? I'm like, oh wow, this stuff actually works, right? Then
Mhm.
then
You said
then I came
it actually.
then at the same time I was watching your video and and my partner at that time, like everybody else, when you watch the video, they're like, oh,
Mhm.
just go for the $1 million, go for the $1 million, go for the $1 million. My partner had actually told me at that time, like, hey, look, I know you want to go for the $1 million, but you don't know the system. And this is what
Yeah,
people don't tell you online, right?
they don't.
You actually gives that information of like, hey, calm down, learn the
Because you want to
entire,
build something that's going to last. You want
exactly,
I mean, I even have to think about that as experienced as I am. We have, $200 million contracts we're thinking about, but we have to, my vice president, this is my manufacturing side, is asking me, I just want to make sure we're ready for this. And I said, those are very legitimate questions because there are a lot of moving pieces. And even though I'm very confident that we can do these things, we have executive meetings about, so what's our standard operating procedure for this? Do we have the logistics ready? Do we have the buildings? I mean, what if they say we need these buildings in other states to be ready to this level? Are we ready? How many buildings are ready right now? That kind of thing. You want those big ones and you're so excited and you're ready. But what I don't want is for people to fail, including myself, because they put themselves in a bad situation. It was different with the paint. Yes, that was a challenge, but I fixed it. I knew enough on the service side and I had enough business acumen to fix that paint situation with DLA and still make sure that everybody made money because of my business acumen. But if I didn't have that government side on the from products with the VA and with SAM and all that, I might not have been as confident. But it's because I already knew government that I said, okay, I know what to do. And my corporate business experience. Those are the things that's how you experience things. Now, would I have done that with a $230 million contract? No, because I don't want to mess up my name.
exactly. And that was the key that you said. And one thing that you actually said that even made me trust you, right? Because whenever you drop a content, I'm the first person to like go there and go watch. What's Michelle talking
You guys
about
make
now?
me feel so special. Oh
Like
my God.
what game is she giving? Because you give so much free game, like so much free, knowledgeable, good information. You get what I'm saying? Like it is
Mhm.
valid information. Like some information you tried and it doesn't work, and you're like, man. But your information, you try, you put it into action, and it works, right? So
Mhm.
one of the things you said was like, hey, a lot of people, right, when they start government contract, they just say, hey, go on Sam, and go, you know, bid on any contract, right? But you said, hey, if you want to win your first contract, this is the way to go about it, and the door will be open for you. You do a good job one time, two times, three times. There's some information that I don't want to disclose on the video.
And didn't it give you more confidence with
It,
government, federal level government anyway? Because once you start winning, it's like, okay, this is not so bad. I could keep doing this. Yeah.
exactly. And also like, I don't know if this information is for everybody, but like some product, right? Like you become very confident, like you said, and
Mhm.
also you've done a great job for like the government in the past that they trust that you delivering
Yes.
original product, like,
Hmm.
and all those stuff, it takes time. You
Hmm.
can't just rush and say, oh, I want to do this stuff and just make money and go away. No, like you said in all your videos, you building a complaint, you're taking yourself from like where you are to like this place where you build a complaint, you could help other people and help yourself. Like I share your videos with like some of my friends now that want to get into this line, like, hey, go watch Michelle
Yeah, because
video.
they're watching
You
you
know,
and your successes.
exactly. And I like most of it is your information. So,
Hmm.
you
Well,
know, I
thank you. I appreciate that so much. So lastly, tell us, because Kofo and I have business to do as usual. I always have business with my award winners.